we have, all the questions are pretty much about one topic. I'm sure you can guess what that is. We do have one that, I'll save that one till last, but these questions, we had a few of them in here, and they were all about the jail. So I thought I would just combine all of these into one question.
Sure.
What is your position on the jail? Where do you think it should be located? It's been confirmed that inmate numbers are down, so why do we need a new jail now?
First of all, thank everyone that has put this forum together to allow the public to meet and see the candidates. As your sheriff, part of my responsibility is to be the custodian of the jail. As the custodian of the jail, I occupy the building, I staff the building that is provided by the county. It's my responsibility to report to the Board of Supervisors if the existing structure that we're occupying is not meeting the needs or if there are some other deficiencies. We have struggled through this for years. I think the glaring deficiency that came about was several years ago when we lost our state certification, that we no longer meet state standards. The jail is supposed to be responsible for housing misdemeanor inmates from both municipal and justice courts, pretrial felons awaiting trial on felony charges, and if desired, a minimal amount of state inmates to be used as trustees or road crew working in the county. We have reached the point where we're housing only pretrial felons. You cannot commingle misdemeanors with pretrial felons. And because of the volume of pretrial felons, we can't have a misdemeanor for drunk and disorderly displacing someone who may be in there on a burglary charge. So we have to house the more serious here. The overflow has been housed in other counties. This has been reported to the board. Now, whether they expand on the existing facility, build another facility, or tell me, Sheriff, it's your responsibility to continue to maintain what you have, I will do whatever they desire, but it's my responsibility to report those deficiencies. As far as the location, and I know this is a combination of questions, I have not always agreed with the different board members, but my position has always been that the jail needs, if possible, to be as close as possible to the existing criminal justice facilities, the courthouse in particular. This is not only for safety and security reasons of transporting prisoners to and from court, but also for someone that is in jail and have to bond out. If it's, the grandmother having to bond out the grandson, do they really need to be traveling way out into the county? But again, that decision is of the Board of Supervisors. My personal opinion, based on professional experience, is that the correctional facility, the jail, needs to be as close as possible.
You have 30 seconds, Mr. Pace.
To the existing courthouse.
Okay. And the last question is, what can the office do to protect us all better?
I've been doing this for over 30 years. Went to college for this and trained for this. And it all comes back to one thing. Crime prevention is our number one responsibility as a peace officer. And I personally prefer the term peace officer because law enforcement is only part of the equation. Crime prevention is accomplished through education. But to educate the public, the criminal justice agency must first understand the criminal element. That is by tracking criminal patterns, by understanding the existing criminal behavior, understanding what crimes are taking place in your particular community, taking that data, disseminating it to the public to allow the public to make good choices about how to prevent themselves from being a victim. That combined with professional enforcement of the existing laws is how we accomplish a safer community. The public's involvement, the citizens' involvement, is to partner with the sheriff's office, to partner with the police department, report suspicious activity in a timely manner, offer to form neighborhood watch programs, and other functions that will allow the crime prevention information to be disseminated effectively from the police, from the sheriff's office, to the citizens who we are charged with protecting, because each of you are my employer, and it's my job to do everything possible to protect your life and your property and those of your family.
And we do have one more question, actually.
Sure.
How can your deputies help to increase revenues through traffic protection without the utilization of radar guns?
Let me address two portions of that. First, explain to those that may not understand, by state statute, sheriff's offices are not allowed to use any electronic device to clock speed. Speed can be enforced on municipal streets by city police officers, on the highway by highway patrol, but on county-maintained roads, there is no speed enforcement unless a deputy sheriff gets behind the vehicle and actually follows the vehicle at the speed the vehicle is traveling. That is the issue. As far as the revenue part of it, we don't have anything to do with the revenue. The fine money is not generated as a revenue resource. The fine money is to act as a deterrent, both specific and general. A specific deterrent to the person who has received the ticket that they don't need to speed anymore. The general deterrent is when you see a car on the side of the road with a squad car behind it, you probably assume they're getting a ticket and that you may slow down and drive more appropriately, even though you're not the one that's being stopped. What we do in the county where we cannot use electronic clocking devices is establish as much visibility as possible. Putting marked patrol cars in problem areas. We have a motorcycle that we've acquired on a federal grant with a uniformed trained officer on the motorcycle. We try to compensate as best we can with marked vehicles in appropriate traffic flow areas to deter the speed. But there is no magic answer for us being able to efficiently and effectively clock speed until the state legislature changes the law. And let me make clear, it's not the Board of Supervisors, it's the state law, it's the state legislature that would be responsible for changing the statute to allow sheriff's offices to enforce speed.
Thank you, Mr. Pace.
Thank you. God bless you.
We thank you so much for joining us tonight. We hope this forum has been helpful to you, and we thank you, a big thank you to all the candidates for being here.